What's up, Mob City family? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk about the best ways to plan and route a motorcycle trip. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're street touring or off-road touring or both, like adventure riding. This is going to be good for everybody. What I will not be talking about is a Nav 6, other than right now, and base camp. I use a Garmin Zumo XT, and I'll show you how I use that. I'm not going to get full in depth with them because there's so many features on these things, but I'll talk about the apps that I use to help plan out and route routes. I use Google Maps. That's the number one. That has the most information, the most data, and it's the best for anything out there, including Apple. I'm using Google My Maps. That's something completely different than Maps, but I'll get into that. And I'm using Onyx Off-Road. I'm using Gaia GPS, and I'm using Rever. I use the Garmin app to wirelessly transmit this to the Garmin Zumo XT. The way I feel like if you do this before and map all this stuff out, create all this information, put it together, then you can upload that to your phone, your iPad, your GPS, and it's all there. But creating it, you're gonna have to do it on a desktop. And it's pretty simple. I'm gonna go through it all step by step how I do it. The first app is the most important app, and that's Google Maps. It has the most data that you're going to get on any app there is. Better than Apple, better than anything, because they've been working on it for years and refining it for years. Yeah, so here we go. So we have Monument Valley, right? Shows us Monument Valley, and it shows us all the good stuff, camping spots, uh, like overlooks, Forest Gump, photo spots. So let's take a look. We'll click on Forrest Gump, right? It's a photo spot, tourist attraction, everything you want for it, right? Gives you photos. See? Shows you what you can see here, what everybody does. Pretty cool, right? That's the beauty of Google Maps. From my location to Mexican Hat. It's going to calculate for me. It's gonna 415 miles, the Mexican Hat from Vegas. Now I can go through St. George or I can come down through Flagstaff, right? Either way. Awesome, awesome app. You're gonna use this more than anything for sure. But here's what we're gonna do. Like when you use Google Maps, what we want to do, you can do your places and we can hit maps and it'll bring up maps that I create. Now, I'm going to show you how to create maps, and that is called Google My Maps. We'll just search Google My Maps. Sign into Google right here, about Google My Maps. Go ahead and click on that. Get started. And then it's going to show my maps. All of my maps have Death Valley and Cabo. So let's create a new map. This is what I'm going to use to gather all my information and put it down in one spot. Whether it's the route, waypoints, all that kind of stuff. We're going to put on this map right here, Google My Maps. And then we're going to take this and we're going to turn it into a GPX file and we're going to upload it into the GPS unit. In my case, it's the Garmin Zumo XT. So here we go. Get started. Create a new map. Right? Let's title it. Let me call it Monument Valley. Right? Good enough. And then we'll just zoom right in here to Monument Valley eventually. So I'm going to place a marker, put it right here, Monument Valley, start Monument Valley trip. You can't see it here, but there's some off-road that I want to do right here. And as I get into the other apps, I'll show you that. But I know this is kind of a point of interest. So I'm going to make a point of interest over here. Right? Now call it off-road Monument Valley. but I'll set up a route, but I'm going to create waypoints that are off the route. Because maybe I'm interested in going to this. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. It's one of those things that when I get there, if I feel like it, I will, right? So instead of incorporating everything into the route, I'm going to set up waypoints just off the route that I can choose to pick, right? So let's say I'm in Monument Valley and I want to go to off-road. When I have it all set up and in my GPS, I can just pick a waypoint, off-road Monument Valley, click it, and it's going to take me right there to this spot. I utilize this a lot because there's other things like, that I want to do. And it's like like here we see the Forrest Gump. It's like I want to take my picture at the same spot Forrest Gump did. So I want to set up a waypoint right here. Pow. Let's say Forrest Gump photo spot. Awesome. So you use Google Maps to find all these points of interest and these things that you want, right? And then you use Google My Maps to create those waypoints and to create that route that I'm going to show you here in a second. And you change that into a GPX file and you upload it into your GPS and you have all this data. This is what you want. This is the go-to. This is the best. All these other apps that I'm going to talk about help me collect data for this map that I'm creating right here. I want to create the route. I'm going to start creating the route because I want to go from like Monument Valley up through Mexican Hat. So I'm going to go up here, draw a line, add a driving route. All right, now I'll just put it on here, A, and I'm going to take it up to this Forrest Gump spot. So section A to section B is Forrest Gump. And you see it over here on the left. I'm going to come in and like rename this layer. And that's how we do it, right? So this is the route that the GPS is going to give me. But then I have this over here that I can choose to pick off and go off the route with. So the GPS will route me the best route from here to here, right? And it's using like a main artery. See off-road, Forrest Gump, Mexican Hat. I'm doing all my waypoints in this one. Right? Makes sense? And you see that, like, I can click on this, and it tells me details from Google Maps. Stateparks.gov, 4.6 rating. You can view it in Google Maps. But this is the money. This is what you want. It helps you collect all the data. It has all the things listed, and you can totally make a route. All right, so I'm gonna go back down to this. See, like I have to choose like add a destination to the route. And I want to go up here because I believe Valley of the Gods that I want to go check out. So I want to come up this way. So I just added the route on there, right? You can see it down here, just to add a destination, and then you click to it, right, where you want it. Chink. And because we're doing over here, you click on it, we're doing add a driving route. It just automatically goes to the road. But I'm going to come back to this, right? I showed you how to like basically I'm doing it, but I'm going to show you how I use the other apps to help me continue on this. Another app that I use along with Google Apps and Google My Apps is Gaia GPS. Now Gaia is pretty cool. So here we are, Monument Valley. I use Gaia. I used to use it for my BDR routes that I had, or you can bring in GPS tracks. You can create these routes and stuff on here. They're nice. It just doesn't have as much information as like Google Maps does, and the maps aren't as good. So, but it's a good app for 20. I think it's $40 for the premium, better maps, but it functions really well. A lot of people like this one. I don't use it so much anymore. I feel like on X off-road is better. I like it better. And now between Gaia GPS and OnX off-road, which one's better? I don't know. They do a lot of the same things. Let's look at OnX Off-Road. And OnX Off-Road is pretty awesome. But I like it because, like, in my area, it'll show all the good, like, off-road routes. Like, all that, like, you can see the blue spot here. But all this stuff, Gas Peak Road, like, I've ridden all this stuff behind my house. It has all the stuff listed here behind my house, right? And the thing is, I can click on it, and it brings it up. Gas Peak Road. It's easy, difficulty easy. Technical rating, it's a 2 out of 10, right? The low point is 3,000, the high point is 5,000. 15 miles. It's best in the spring. Accessible by, high clearance vehicles full width, right? So this is what I love about OnX Off-Road. It tells you the good stuff in your area. You just click on it and it tells you Mormon Well Road. It's easy. 41 miles. Technical rating 2. It's best in the spring, summer, or fall. Accessible by dirt bike, all that stuff. It's awesome. So if it has like camping and high clearance vehicles, you're probably going to be all right on a dual sport enduro bike. Not so much an adventure bike because adventure bikes are tougher, right? But let's look at some other stuff. Like here, this is Rocky Gap, and like this shows this thing's awesome. Technical rating is a 7. Difficulty, it's difficult, a 7 out of 10. 5 hours time, 7, almost 8 miles, right? Accessible by high clearance vehicles only, it says, right? But it shows all the best ones around, right? It shows all the good stuff around Vegas. But like OnX Off-Road, this is awesome, right? Let's go over to our, and see here, this is the Monument Valley. So Monument Valley, easy. This is the one I was talking about earlier. It's easy, difficulty easy. It's a 3 out of 10. It says high clearance and full width roads. And this is the off-road that I wanted to check out over here. Right? And why not? It's easy, you're by it, like come in and check it out, right? So that helps a lot. This is the other part I wanted. What is this? Valley of the Gods. Let's hit this one. Easy. Difficulty easy. Technical rating a 2 out of 10. Right? High clearance, full width roads. So full width road's going to be pretty easy. But it goes through Valley of the Gods. Like, how cool is that? So as I was making my route on the Google Maps, like I was earlier, I'm coming to OnX Off-Road and finding this good off-road trail that I want to do through Valley of the Gods. So I'm going to add it onto my other one, onto my Maps. So see, it's not giving me all the information that Google Maps does, but it's giving me the off-road stuff, which I really like. And this is the same as Gaia. You can download your maps when you have it and then save them for offline. So when you get out there on White Rim, you still have all this and you can track it. GPS still works, but you have to download it for offline use. I think they're about the same. Like, I'm not trying to debate which one's better. I have both of them. I use OnX Off-Road more. I used to use Gaia in the past. I tried this OnX Off-Road and I like it. And these are all affordable. I think they're like $20 a year. Yeah, so I want to show you Rever. Rever is another app. This app is really good for people that are street riding and touring that want to ride some of the best roads in the country. You can find all that stuff on Rever. It has a lot. It's pretty good. The feature I love the most is Butler's G1 roads. So they're gold roads. Butler Maps is pretty cool. You can buy them paperback or, with Rever, it comes with the Pro package. Thanks to Rever at the Get On Adventure Fest. They gave a year subscription. I jumped all over it for the Pro package. I think it's only like $40 a year, if that. But this Butler Maps is pretty cool. So what it does is like it's the gold roads. They're curvy, twisty for motorcycles. They're scenic. They're some of the best roads. I've done several gold roads across the country, and I'll say they're some of the best roads for sure. There's three of them in Vegas, and we'll take a look at one. It's the Red Rock Scenic Route. This road is pretty awesome. This is the premier road in Vegas. As far as curvy, twist, scenic, it's the premier road. And there's another one over here, the Valley of Fire. If anybody's familiar with Valley of Fire, it's super, super scenic, super awesome. It's not the fastest, twistiest, but it's scenic, super scenic, right? And then there's one more down here. It's Nelson's Ghost Town. Goes down to Nelson's Ghost Town. If you're in an area and there's gold roads, you want to ride them. Trust me. So you want to use Rever to take the Butler Maps gold roads and incorporate them into your Google My Maps route that you're creating. Because these are epic, epic, epic routes. There's some over here in Death Valley. Artist Palette. I've taken you there. Check that video out. The other one's Town Pass. I've taken you through that, right? And what's the other one? Panamint Pass. It's going up towards Star Wars Canyon up into Lone Pine, right? I've taken you up that all epic, epic, epic roads. And what is this one? This is Monument Valley, right? It's the road in the Monument Valley. It's a gold road. And what's this one? This is the Moki Dugway, right? They have this one. Let's zoom in on it here. All tight and twisty and everything else, but yeah, the Moki Dugway. This is a gold road. It's a gravel road, but it must not be that bad because they have it on Rever as a Butler Gold Road. I've seen people on Harleys and baggers ride this, so I would say because it's marked as a gold road that it's anybody, street bikes, all your big baggers, your gold wings, all that stuff should be fine. But yeah, so like incorporate these into your Google My Maps. But yeah, these are good, good, good stuff. So now that we have our Google My Maps set up and we've used the different apps, Google Maps and OnX Off-Road and Rever, to all help us create the route that we want and hit the spots that we want, and like this is a finished, product that we want here. What we're going to do is export this and create a GPX file so we can upload it to our GPS. What we're going to do is go up here in the little bars. We're going to export to KML KMZ. I don't know, that's just the Google Maps file that they create, right? So we'll export, right? Because we could just do the waypoints or directions, right? But we want the entire thing. So we'll download it. And here it is, Monument Valley KMZ, right? We have to convert it to a GPX file. So you see here, Google Maps convert to GPX. And there's a couple of them, maps to GPX. I use this GPS visualizer. It's just what I like. So we want to change it to a GPX. So we choose file. We're going to upload a file. Monument Valley KMZ, right? We'll open it and then we're going to convert it, right? And it says download the GPX. Here's our GPX. See it, blah, 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 data.gpx. So what I need to do is transfer this to my phone or anything. You can just plug up to your computer and import the GPX file. But because I'm on a Zumo XT, a Garmin Zumo XT, I can wirelessly upload GPX files. So what I need to do is transfer this file to my phone. But yeah, I'm going to airdrop it to my iPhone. Right, and it's saying I can send it to Drive, to the Gaia GPS, to Rever, to the files. I can do however I want. I can save it in files, right? And I save it in my GPS routes. And because I already have one, I'll replace it. I can click on it and I can send it to I can send it to the Garmin drive. It says GPX file. Where you see the GPX file, you like to send it to your Garmin device, right? And that's how you do it. It's real easy to send to the Garmin device. It's as simple as that. I just wirelessly transfer it right to the Garmin Zumo XT. It's probably the best motorcycle GPS out there. I don't want to get too deep into the Garmin Zumo XT. Not everybody really has that, but I just show you how to upload it to the GPS, and then you go from there and you have all the stuff on the GPS that you can use. It's pretty good. But I hope this helps people plan and route better and gather more information to put into your maps and routes. Anybody has any questions, comments, put them down below. I'll try to answer them best I can. I appreciate all the support. You guys are awesome. And don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you on the next one.